No, I'm saying rather than cheat, just find somebody else to cheat with. Oh man,
Oh my
that was
goodness.
hilarious, man. Why would you want to join the US? I have a son, you have a son. You want
Mhm.
him to go to the army? You want him to go to war? There's
I
military
think
conscription because when he turns 18, he has to register to be in the military. You want that for your son?
Prime Minister Mark Carney saying Canada is dropping counter-tariffs on American goods covered by the free trade agreement, saying Canada has the best trade deal with the U.S. Eric Viano joins me in studio with more. Eric.
Carney explained today that his government is removing some retaliatory tariffs on American products to match U.S. tariff exemptions for goods covered under the Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement, or CUSMA.
there's another one. I thought it was USMCA, so there's another
No, it's
one
Kuzma's like
versus NAFTA, and
NAFTA's
then there's
gone. Like that was gone. Like
okay,
he
yeah, and then
eliminated
there's
that.
USMCA, and
Yeah,
now there's CUSMA.
yeah.
I am
It's
so lost.
yeah.
So, do you know about CUSMA?
Yeah, Canada, US, Mexico, Canada, US, Mexico agreement. Yeah, Kuzma. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I think this is the best
yeah.
acronym. Wow. Anyways, guys, so yeah, it looks like once again we're on this tariff roller coaster. We had sanctions, or not sanctions, but tariffs put
Tariffs.
in on us by US. I just don't understand it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. US is the center of the world. I think that's clear. I just think it's annoying that we just capitulate to everything that they say, because I mean it's like they say we're not a dictatorship, but isn't that a dictatorship when all you're doing is just adhering to one person rules and demands? I don't know. Am I wrong, or
I guess for Canadians, do we have a choice?
I think we
That's
always
what,
have a choice
which is,
to not capitulate,
but who are you gonna
right?
capitulate? Like, I mean,
So
that's
we
easier said than done because our economies are intertwined and we've
yeah,
so much reliance on the US. It's not even funny.
true.
They don't rely on us as much. So we put ourselves in this situation, and I think it's a wake up call. You have to remember 77 million Americans voted for this guy. That's a majority. That's
Hmm.
a lot of people. I don't think this is going to change. I think this is the status quo going forward. It's going to be like this. I don't know that the next administration is going to come in and change things.
Hmm.
So we need to prepare ourselves as Canada. We are a sovereign nation. So start being independent and stop relying on the US. I know it's hard, but we have to do it. There's a border town where there's a road that's on the American side that Canadians use. But
Hmm.
because it's such a small community, it's always been Canadians have always used that road and it's
Hmm.
never been a problem until this administration came and said, no, if you're going to use the road, you have to go through US Customs.
Wow.
So all these years, we haven't thought about building that road. And that's a small part of it. It's an example. But all I'm saying is we're a sovereign country. Like we need to be reliant on ourselves. But
Yeah.
that's if you were to tabulate that across the board, there's a lot of situations where we rely so much in the US that we don't make a headway in our own industries. And it's
Hmm.
coming back to bite us right now. So we shouldn't think that for a second when this guy leaves, everything's going to revert. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I think we should become a 51st state. For that very reason, I think we should become a 51st state, because at the end of the day,
I'm gonna leave this podcast.
wow, it's
and just,
debate. We're having a
and just
debate. Come on.
I think that's a bad
Why
idea.
not?
It's a
But
very okay.
just like what you just said, we
Okay.
have roads
One
that are
example. One
intertwined.
example.
We have, okay, cancer. American, I'm not trying to say y'all are cancer, but if you're the ones that are trying to invade us, let's be honest. So my point is, the best way to deal with the cancer is to learn to live with it.
And
If
we
you
have
really
been
think
living
about
with
it,
them.
if you really think about it, that's how you would handle cancer. If it's not, if it's benign, the prospect of having it sucks. But the point is, if it's benign, then you just make it a part of you. It is what it is, unless it starts affecting and hurting you. As we know now, US is not hurting Canada, and we are too small. I know we're big in nation, but in terms of people, in terms of economic viability and our location, we're nowhere near Europe where they can have their European Union. We need to just do this.
Okay. So my counter to that is why not just find other trading partners? Why does it have to be US all the time in everything? understand proximity,
Exactly.
but there's other aspects where we can start inviting other countries.
We don't have enough people. We don't have
We
Dude,
have enough.
look at our
like, look
subway
at-
system. It's
Okay,
nothing.
that's fine. But
Toronto, at
okay,
least.
gas is an example. During Japan needed gas, we didn't trade with them. During the crisis where Germany needed gas, could we not have supplied them gas?
So
Okay.
let's say we just live off of oil and we sell oil around the world. I don't think that's enough to sustain us. We're not like Dubai or in the Middle East.
Mhm.
We have way more. And so I just think it's not economically viable to just live off of. And then that's Alberta. You know Alberta don't like Ontario. Let's be
Okay.
honest. Alberta wanted to
That's
leave us
that's
in a
okay.
sense.
Let's say
So-
you're right on that, and they've done the forecast and they've seen that it's not viable. But doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome, isn't that insanity?
CUSMA, NAFTA,
CUSMA, NAFTA. And
USMCA,
it's
that's doing the
it's-
same thing over and over again.
Exactly. And what outcome are we expecting? It's not
I
working
feel
for us.
you're working in my favor.
No, I'm
that
not.
logic.
Because all that CUSMA, all that stuff, we're trying to do trade relations and everything, doing the same thing over and over again, but it's not working for us.
Exactly. So we joined them.
No. Trade
But then
somewhere
all
else.
the trades-
Find somewhere else to trade.
No,
Find
but-
somebody else to trade with. You don't have to do agreements with them all the time because it's not working. They've proven themselves not to be reliable in terms of keeping their promises. So why
For
would
the
you have
last
agreements with them?
50-something years, they've proven not reliable.
Well,
Well, NAFTA's
no.
been around for many
I know,
years.
but you signed a contract to do something. There was a contractual obligation, and they just ripped it to shreds and said no,
But
even
you
though
don't-
we signed it.
But you
He's-
don't think
okay, the
we've
first
done
par-
some stuff that is a little shady on our side
No,
too?
because he signed. He created the first when his first administration. He
No,
created
I'm
the
not
first
talking
part.
about USMCA. I'm talking about just NAFTA in general. Are you saying that on?
But it was an agreement. It
But I-
wasn't like we forced their hand. They're bigger power than us.
But
If
my-
we signed an agreement with them and they agreed to it, they looked at the stuff and they said, "Okay, fine." How can you blame us?
But my argument is that even with NAFTA,
Mhm.
both parties were fudging and maligning
We
each
both
other.
did it, but we're
Yeah.
a smaller economy. It doesn't even scratch the surface of America.
Okay,
So why get punished for something that doesn't scratch your surface?
So you're saying if you're a small player but you cheat, it's less than being a
No,
big player?
I'm
and
saying
cheating?
if you're yes, technically yes, because if you're a small player, you cheat and it doesn't impact the end result of the game, or then what's the point?
Guys, like and subscribe and watch our podcast because he was saying I was a cheater
Nah,
and now he's justifying cheating.
I'm
Y'all
not
gotta go
justifying
check
cheating.
that
No,
out.
no. I'm saying rather than cheat, just find somebody else to cheat with. Oh man,
Oh my
that was
goodness.
hilarious, man. No,
Oh,
but
I
in
love
all seriousness, I think we're just that we're over our heads with the U.S. I get why he's doing that. We're a small economy. We can't keep up. Like all that thing, we're going to retaliatory tariffs. I knew it wasn't going to last.
And I agree with you. This is why I keep saying your argument is working in my favor
No,
because
one
Jai,
last point.
you're
One last
saying
point.
that
One last
the
point.
tariffs
Sorry.
are not working.
One last point.
Okay.
Why would you want to join the U.S.? I have a son. You have a son.
Mm-hmm.
You want him to go to the army? You want him to go to war? There's military conscription because when he turns 18, he has to register to be in the military. You want that for your son?
I'm saying at the end of
No, you didn't answer my question. Do you want that for your son?
if I have to be a part of that country and this
Yeah.
is what it means to be part of the country, then yes.
No, I don't.
Then yes.
No, I don't.
100%.
I don't want it for my son. I'm sorry.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm,
Well,
I'm selfish that way.
okay. I'm just saying at the end of the day, you do know that you live in this country. We are profiting off of exploitation of African nations that don't have their own economy and their people are taking raw materials from there at dirt cheap slave labor, and you get to live in a beautiful house in Canada.
And so is the U.S.
Okay, listen,
All
dude,
Western countries are doing that.
You're 100% right. I'm just saying from your comment of, well, I don't want my child to go to be enlisted in the army. I'm just saying that there's a lot of luxuries in this country that you're enjoying, and there's hate and there's bad stuff behind it. So I'm just saying at the end of the day, if I'm in U.S. and I now have the luxuries of U.S., if this is a requirement, then I'm fine with that. If it's something where 100% you are going, and maybe I'll think twice about that.
Mhm.
But this is not like, it's not like 100% it has to. It's like jury duty. I have to do jury duty. I've never done jury duty. I'm almost 50 years old. You get it? So I'm just saying yes and yes. But my argument, and why I'm saying your argument's helping in my favor, is simply because what's the alternative? If the tariffs are not working, the only other way to mitigate the tariffs is to not have the tariffs. And the only way you don't have the tariffs if you become
No,
in that country. You
no,
become part of that country.
no, not
It is what it
necessarily.
is. And what is the alternative?
The
Because
alternative is to
clearly the
trade.
tariffs are not working.
Alternative is to trade with other partners. Find other partners to trade with.
Okay, and if it was that simple, I think we would have done that by now.
No, I guess because we're still catering to the U.S. is why
I agree with
we're
that, but
still
there's
thinking that the U.S. is gonna somehow forgive us. No, I wouldn't use that word forgive, but they're gonna
capitulate.
somehow, yeah, exactly, come to terms and just say, okay, Canada, we're neighbors. Okay, fine, let's
Mhm.
get this agreement going and let's continue to trade. No, they're not gonna do that. 77 million people voted for this guy. They don't care about us. They don't care about Canada. To them, we're just non-existent as
Well,
far as they're concerned.
that's not fair. Let's be honest. Trump did not run on this. I'm taking over Canada. He never ran on
He
that.
ran on the fact that he was going to
After
tariff
he started
everyone.
talking about okay,
Exactly.
tariffs and taking over a country are two different things.
But why is he saying that now?
I'm just saying on your statement, you're saying that the Americans voted for him.
Mhm.
I'm just saying in his platform before he got elected, he didn't say anything about taking over and annexing another country. That's different. Tariffs, I think people understand that.
Mhm.
They get that. But this is different. And so all I'm just trying to say is bringing it back to that whole concept. The tariffs are not working. So maybe joining the US, maybe in some sort of provisional way, like all I'm just trying to say is it so bad to be an American?
I think, I mean, of course, I love America and I love the American people,
Because
but I'm
Carney
saying,
is
but I
not
also,
really doing anything right now. He's
I
a
love the
puppet.
American people. I love America. You know, I love to go there. I have family there, friends, but I love being Canadian too. There's nothing wrong
Hmm.
with that. And I think that having an economy where we can trade with different, or we have alternatives, is not a bad thing necessarily. And I think it's a wake up call to our government to stop looking at the Americans as our only source of income. Granted, they're our biggest trading partners and we listen to them, but maybe we need to be autonomous and make our own decisions and not allow somebody
Okay.
else to influence our decisions.
Alberta is loosely with us in terms of a province, or sorry, a country. Or you got Quebec as well that's itching to leave too. So I guess what I'm just trying to say is I too am Canadian as well. But I'm just saying I don't see it being a totally wrong and abhorrent thing to become part of the United States. You also got to remember, US, they're the way they do countries is or
States.
states, it's a bit different. California is its own country.
Yep.
New York is its own country. Texas is its own country. So it's not like here where Canada forced you to become a melting pot.
Anyways, point is, at the end of the day,
If I hear you say
say what? Trade to other partners?
yes, I'm gonna kill you.
No.
I'm gonna kill you.
No,
Say
no,
it again.
no.
Give me something different, please.
Let's not trade with the U.S. only. I didn't say trade with other part. I just said let's not trade with only the U.S. I mean, there's other countries out there. Okay, jokes aside, I think we can do better. Until recently, we weren't trading with interprovincial trade was non-existent. Until recently, that goes to show you that there's a lot of potential or things that we haven't explored. If we can't trade within our own country, that to me was mind-blowing. So
So you're saying
this
that
tariff has forced us to think outside the box.
so the agreements were crippling Canadian economy.
Yeah. So now we've been forced to start thinking outside the box, which is a good thing. So that whole argument about maybe they've done a projection, I don't think any projection was done about what we can do outside the US as a trading partner. They've just been choosing the easy route. I think now it's time for them to earn their money or their votes as to why we put them in power. And because the status quo is not working. You can't just keep saying, oh, we'll just trade with the US trade. Make those hard decisions. This is why we picked you as elected officials. You need to think outside the box.
So you're basically saying, so we've been crippling ourselves because we've been capitulating to US will and need and their
For the most part, yes.
Okay. And so now, because US has basically bullied us so hard, we can't fight back anymore. And so
We're now
now
thinking
we're,
outside the box, which
but
is what we should have done from day one.
I know it's not a greatest analogy, but my point is, you're basically saying now that US is dumping us, we now should extend to these heights of amazingness. And I just argue, I don't think
No,
so. If
because
we took the initiative
okay,
and knew that we are this and we are better and we are this, we should have dumped US. We should have dumped them a long time ago. If we knew this, and we should have taken the initiative, gotten that first to market type of confidence, and then go find our new partners. I've never really seen somebody that get dumped end up dating someone hotter than the person that they dumped. I'm sure it happens, but I just don't see it.
let's use your analogy.
Sure.
So now you got dumped. Maybe that person doesn't value you as much. So now you have to look for people that will value you as an individual.
But the point is,
So no, I'm
Okay,
just
go on,
going
go
by
on,
your
sorry,
analogy.
Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Now that person who dumped you doesn't see value in you. That's why they dumped you, and they don't see any reason as to why they want to be with you. So why don't you go out and look for somebody who's going to value whatever shortcomings you may have? Find the person who's going to value you for who you are, and then work with them.
And just remind you, when we talk about, they're talking about Canada, US.
Yes, yes.
My argument is that you should have known ahead of time. You should know and have insight. You should have discernment in you to know that you're not being valued in this relationship and you leave it, because that shows a lot of character. It shows that you're in tune with yourself. It shows that you're in tune with the situation. And I think a lot of times people are delusional. And so the fact that you got dumped just shows that you don't have a pulse on what's happening in you, your relationships, and what you're doing. And so Canada is the one that got dumped.
True.
Yeah,
And
so
that's why I
all I'm
agree with you.
saying.
I agree with you on that point. And this is why I said our elected officials need to do a better job. There's a reason why
It's
we
true.
voted for them. And this is time for them to earn their keep. That's why Carney won. If people didn't think he had the capacity to carry us through this, they wouldn't have voted for Polyev, right? Because Polyev was leading the polls. Remember that, right? So
Probably I've got his butt booted out
exactly.
completely.
So now
I think he's
he-
back in now.
he has to earn his. Carney has to earn his keep. He has to talk to the cabinet members to say, guys, we need to think outside the box. What can we do? Knowing that majority of Canadians still want to stay as a sovereign country, what can we do? We've been trading with the U.S. for far too long, and we've been relying on the U.S. for far too long.
So I think also when you say Canadians do not want to go, I think it's also a lot of baby boomers, because that's the
Yeah,
age,
baby
60
boomers,
year
yeah,
olds.
60 and above, yeah.
They have a mentality of loyalty and crap like that. When you say that Canada has chosen, I think also we got to understand that our population is aging. Let's be honest, people that are younger than us, we barely have that mentality. And so I think that's not indicative of what the young generation wants. And so this is the challenge that I think Canada needs to recognize. Are you focused on the currency or the future of this country? And the future, I think, might be some sort of merging or alignment or some sort of like a Ukraine, Russia, I don't know. But the point is, what's happening right now is not working. I don't think everyone has that same sentiment mentality of just delineation of Canada, US. I think that's an old mentality. I think it's an old thought process. But I think we need to get into the future, and the future is going to be some sort of hybrid or some sort of merging. That's just my thought process. And again, it could become where it becomes lucrative. I know US just wants our minerals. They just want our minerals.
So make
so
deals.
you're right, but I think the challenge is that the deals have not worked. Power always corrupts. And so the point is, if we merge, now that power struggle disappears. So hear me out, if I adopt one of our students that live with us, they've been living with us for so long, I'm sure I wouldn't charge them as much as I charge them to live here now.
So why don't you adopt them?
They haven't asked to be adopted. I'm just saying.
But they didn't exactly.
There's
Did
no
we ask-
strenuating, but you're missing the point. There's no strenuating
the
need for me
point.
to adopt them. We have got to solve this. We're two countries, literally not at the brink of war, but like you said, that road, it's annoying and it's costing money on both sides.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Like and subscribe.
I'm just not for it. I think we can do better as a country. So whatever alternative they have to come up with, other than being a 51st state, which is not why we voted them in office this time around, I think they need to earn their keep and come up with something lucrative. I understand why he gave up the retaliatory tariffs, because that wasn't working, obviously. At the same time, there has to be other options. If somebody doesn't want to trade with you, like to your point, like if somebody wants to adopt you but you don't want to be adopted, like they can't force you to be adopted. It just doesn't make any sense. Economic viability for the US, with or without Canada, they'll be fine. And we can be there too, where with or without the US, we can be fine.
All
I'll
right,
leave it
guys.
at that.
Yeah, it's been a good one. Hope you all found it interesting. Please continue the comments and continue the discussion in the comments, and like and subscribe, and yeah, give us feedback. Let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. God bless. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.